Your cop stories.
Yes. Okay, so I have one. I call it Nightsticks. I've actually written a blog about it on Talking Noise.
Talking Noise blog.
Plug.
Plug that. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
TalkingNoise.com.
All right.
So I was working at Valdo's Seafood House.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was stopped, and this is 2004.
Okay.
I'm fresh out of the Marine Corps. I'm fresh out of Iraq, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of, a little bit on edge, a little bit.
Right.
So they pull me over, and the cop is, he stops me. I'm like, here's my license, and he's like, step out of the car. I'm like,
What did he stop you for?
I don't know this yet.
Oh no, he just said, "Let me see your license and step out of the car."
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I go, for what? And he's like, just step out of the car, sir. I'm like, okay. So I do get out of the car,
Yeah.
and he tells me, put your hands on the hood. I'm like, again, why? Like, what have
Yeah.
I done? Like, I don't, tell me what is wrong. And he's like, put your hands on the hood, sir. Another cruiser pulls up. I see this. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I do. I oblige. I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Put my hands on the
You know
hood.
the deal. You know how to act.
Well, let me finish.
You know how to act, boy.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Massa. So I do, and then he kind of grabs me on my shoulder, and I slap his hand away. I'm like, don't touch me, man. I'm like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
And he's like, sir, I need you to basically just put my hands on the hood and just act like I'm just subservient.
He wants control.
Exactly, subservient. I'm like, no. I'm like, I haven't. You got to tell me what I've done wrong. Like, this is absurd. Like,
Yeah.
so I turn around. I look at him. And he tries to reach for me again. I slap his hand away again.
Yeah.
Well, that's where everything went downhill.
So you slapped his hand away a few times.
Twice.
You touched him.
Twice. Yes.
Okay.
I touched a police officer twice.
Okay.
I ended up in the fetal position. Another cruiser pulled up also.
Right.
And so they jumped on me as if I'm resisting arrest and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I ended up in the fetal position, curled up in a ball while taking nightsticks to my shins.
Oof.
Yes.
I've always wondered. I don't want to know, but I've always wondered what does that feel like. I mean, these nightsticks, they're pretty hard. I mean, what did that feel like? Just bashing up against your shin.
God, I mean, have you ever hit your shin just on anything on accident?
I've hit my
hurts.
shin, on a bedpost, and
It
I'm
hurts.
just like, ow, that hurts. That hurts.
I mean, it was extremely painful, but I mean, adrenaline's going. Like I go into survival mode. Like I'm just trying to like stay alive. Like,
Right.
So I'm not really actually feeling it.
How many of them are striking you right now?
Three.
Three
Yeah.
three policemen with their nightsticks.
Yes. And eventually I get hogtied. I don't know if you know what that is. That means like.
Jesus, they hogtied you.
Yes, I still have my dickies because they ripped them because they were picking me up from my back pocket, put my hands behind my back, and threw me in the back of the cruiser.
And at this point, has anybody said why you were pulled over
Nope.
yet?
Still no. I'm still like, what the
Jesus.
fuck? Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, why is this happening?
I mean,
So-
that's nuts, dude.
And it's not even. I'm not even done yet.
Okay.
So I go to fucking Harris County, right?
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, my shins are getting infected because I'm in this goddamn
Yeah.
cesspool.
They're busted up and
Cesspool of a place, and they won't give me any type of medical service
Right.
help. So eventually, I get out and I get released on my own recognizance.
Yeah.
Basically, they had no reason to
To hold you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I found out later that I had a warrant out, but they never told me. But
Okay, so he pulled you over because he ran your plates probably and saw you had a warrant.
But the reason he pulled me over was failure to use a blinker. That's on the police report. Failure to use a blinker. That's why he stopped me.
Failure to use your blinker
Yeah.
and failure to
To-
listen to them while they're beating you with nightsticks.
Exactly. Failure to not just bow down. Like,
Wow.
Like, I'm fresh out of Iraq, man. Like, nobody
Yeah.
put their hands on me. Like, I was like,
Right.
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
boom, don't. It was just like a natural
Exactly.
instinct
Yeah, natural
to,
instinct. Yeah.
to snap, snap his hand away.
You served your country. They probably didn't.
No, of course not. They
Yeah.
wanted to.
Exactly.
Oh God! Every time I've gone to jail, they're like, "Oh, you're in the military? I wanted to join the army." Okay, well, fuck you. Are you gonna give me some sort of special treatment since I was in the military? No, but it's cool.
Obviously not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got home. Actually, my mother,
Yeah.
she saw my shins. I still have the scars today,
Yeah.
and she was irate. She wanted to write a letter to the mayor. I'm like, Mom, that's
It's not gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen.
Nothing's gonna change. Like, it's just how it works.
Maybe with social media today that would, because it's
if somebody had filmed it,
I mean, or you can just show your shins
I could do that
after
right
you
now.
got out of jail. Well, I'm just saying after they released you. It's you're a black veteran who just got out, who was pulled over and just beaten.
Yeah, because I had a
for no
warrant.
reason.
Yeah.
Oh no, for failure for your blinker.
Yeah. Tell us if you use a
Yeah.
blinker.
And then they found out you had a warrant later.
Well, yeah. So they have to have a reason to stop you. So
Yeah.
failure to use a blinker was the reason for them to stop me.
Uh-huh.
So when they ran my shit, they found out that I had a warrant
gotcha.
out.
Yeah.
So that's when he was like, "Step out of the vehicle," and I was like,
Mhm.
"Well, why?" Like, I didn't know how to warrant out. Like, I'm
Right.
completely ignorant to that fact.
So what would you say? There's always somebody that says, well, if you wouldn't have slapped the cop's hand and you would have just
Yes.
followed orders,
Yes.
you would have been okay.
Yes.
Then none of this would have happened. What would you
Yes.
say to that? Because that question is going to be asked.
Yeah.
Probably while listening to this.
Actually,
If he would have just not touched the cop.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've actually
Mhm.
heard that before. If had you not
Right.
have slapped his hand away,
Right.
for me, it's like I had no other reaction. Like, there's no other reaction to. I could actually
Right.
I mean, what was I supposed to? I guess I could have stood there and just.
It's almost like you're cornered into a wall, like we're like an animal, and it's just like, well,
I'm being
this
surrounded
is my
by
defense.
Yeah,
My
I'm like, I
defense
can't.
mechanism.
I mean,
Survival mode.
instinctive. Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
instinctive. So I can't just like say like, well, I probably shouldn't have. No, it was instinct.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing else you can really. I mean, I guess I could have, but it would have. How? I mean, tell me, what do you think? How would it turned out if I had not slapped his hand away?
I mean, they still would have thrown you in jail because they, like you said, they would have ran your plate. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
they ran your plates. They found out you had a warrant. You would have been thrown in jail.
Would I have been beaten up had I not touched him? I guess I would have. I would have been.
I
I would have
mean,
been a good nigger. Is that what they want? Like.
more than likely, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I'm not a good nigger.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
uh-huh.
it's ridiculous that you would even have to go through that. But I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, when I was brought up, same thing. I was taught, just say yes sir, no sir.
Yes.
Don't
No.
don't say anything.
Treat the cops as if they're goddamn
if they're
royalty.
God, yeah. If
Like,
they're God, I mean, so
yeah.
just they have complete power over
Yeah,
you. Just let it be. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what if there's a situation where I know I'm in the right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're also taught that if you're in the right, you're supposed to be able to speak up. You should be able to speak up. They have complete power. So that's the thing that just kind of sucks.
But that's the problem. Just complete power. Like,
Yeah.
how
And they're
do
just
you,
and then outside of that uniform, there are people like you and me.
this is where we run into problems. Is these guys, these police officers, which I have no problem with police officers, but
Yeah.
absolute power, that's when you run into problems, because there's no, like in my case, there was what did I do wrong? Just step out of the car. Okay. Put your hands on the vehicle. Why? Like,
Yeah.
can you explain to me? Can you give me some reasoning behind why you're treating me this way? No, I have absolute power, so just shut the fuck up and do what I tell you.
Exactly.
And if you don't, guess what?
We're gonna beat you.
Exactly.